Good morning, everyone, and thanks for waking up with India. Today's episode includes a special guest. Today, I'll be joined by Ashley Christopher, the CEO of HBCU Week, to discuss the annual event that celebrates historically Black colleges and universities and provides an opportunity for thousands of students in Wilmington, Delaware, to go to college. Ashley's here today to share more about the virtual event that kicks off this week, and I'm excited to learn more about the details. Bringing her in now, Ashley Christopher, thank you so much for being on the show. How are you?
Good, good, India. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So you, in fact, went to an HBCU. So let's start there, a little bit about your history, who you are, and why you decided to go to an HBCU.
So, my parents, although college educated, they did not get the opportunity to attend an HBCU, but they always encouraged myself, my sister, my brother to choose the HBCU route. So, during my high school experience, when I tried to decide, where am I going to go? How am I going to spend my college years? My counselors, I went to Padua Academy, encouraged me to go to Newman, Cabrini, University of Delaware. But I listened to my parents instead, thankfully. My sister went to Howard University. She is 2 years older than me, and my brother went to Delaware State. So having the opportunity to visit my sister in particular at Howard while she was on the dance team, it really forged within me like this is where I need to be. So I
Mhm.
made that decision when I was in high school, and it was the best decision I could have made in my life.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, HU. I'm
Me
seeing
too.
you, but I'm for HU too.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
So during your time there as a student, talk to me about some of the greatest moments that you've experienced.
So Howard was amazing. It is the mecca for everything Black, I'll say. The homecoming experience is incredible. When I got there my freshman year, I was blown away by how the homecoming experience rolled out. Not so much from the attendee side, which was awesome. You have hundreds of thousands of people that descend upon the nation's capital to experience Howard homecoming. But my mind wanted to get to the bottom of how is this planned for all these people? What does it look like when you coordinate these activities for thousands of people? So I decided to volunteer my first year. The second year, I became the comedy show coordinator during homecoming. And then my junior year, I was vice chair. So I really got the chance to see how that event planning process works for Howard Homecoming, and that was incredible. From there, I also joined a sorority. I became a member of Alpha Chapter Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. My line sisters and I have a great relationship. We still travel together. We still talk almost every day. We now have families and careers, but that process at Howard has really given me a group of 40 additional sisters that I would have never had.
Mhm.
Uh, I also did some time volunteering at a local elementary school, so I got to know some kids in the area as well. DC became a second home. So at Howard, I really got the opportunity to learn like who I was and figure out the things that I love to do. So it was great in the process of just like finding myself and what I liked.
Oh, for sure. When I
Hmm.
think about HBCUs, a couple words come to mind: unity, leadership, family.
Yeah.
So these things were, a part of your experience when you were there as a student and rolled over into your career. Talk to me about what you did after you graduated from that HBCU.
So I ended up getting pregnant this summer before my senior year. My plan was always to go straight to law school after undergraduate school, but those plans obviously changed when I found out I was expecting. So I took a 3 year hiatus between undergraduate school and law school, and I came home to just be a mom. So I was home, got a job, spent a lot of time with my son, and then decided it was time for me to start figuring out my next move. So I started to apply to law schools. I wanted to go to an HBCU again. So I chose the University of DC. I love DC. Again, it's like a second home. I'm there every chance I get.
Mhm.
But in between that time, like, after I finished undergraduate school, it was just time for me to like sit back and be a mom and spend that time with my son and start to raise him. Because I didn't want to go, straight from undergraduate school to law school with a newborn. So that was my path, in that between time, that 3 year period between my graduation from undergraduate school and then deciding law school was the next move.
That's beautiful how motherhood kind of helped to usher you into this new phase that you're in now. and
Yeah.
you talked a little bit about the mark that you made when you were at Howard University, and that has now led to where you are now today, making a mark in Wilmington, Delaware. So I want to get right into things. How did HBCU even come about?
Yeah. So, honestly, Mayor Mike has been a champion for HBCU Week. And when I was brought into his administration, one of the responsibilities he gave me was to coordinate some programmatic efforts that directly served Wilmington's most underserved communities. So I would look around the office and I saw that so many people that he employed were HBCU alum, from the chief of staff to different directors in the city, myself, my sister. We're all HBCU alum, and I wanted to highlight that. I am a champion for HBCUs. They have changed my life dramatically. And I take it as a personal responsibility to expose as many kids as I can to the opportunities that you can receive in attending an HBCU. So I went to him with just a small idea like, hey, Mayor, I want to gather maybe like 200 Wilmington area kids with about 5 HBCU admissions counselors because I'm not sure that they know these opportunities exist. And I wanted to make sure that they had access to them. So we got on board. He was very supportive. When I started to plan the process, the 200 children turned to 700, and the five the five admissions counselors turned to 11.
Wow.
And that was back in 2017, so I knew there was a demand, and we were on to something pretty big. So today it looks like a week long of events, which was inspired by my time at Howard being vice chair of Howard Homecoming. And I wanted to really model that because I wanted kids to get as an authentic, representation of what an HBCU homecoming is and what life is like on an HBCU homecoming campus, on HBCU campus, I'm sorry, but also give them the opportunity to get into school and get some scholarships.
Yeah, that HBCU experience, first of all, is so exciting, right? And so
Yeah.
it's a really great way to be able to reel kids in, especially here in the city of Wilmington, where we're seeing, young people looking for outlets, looking for ways to continue to thrive. And, it's just really awesome that this event was created. Why do you think HBCUs, excuse me, are so important, Ashley? Like, you could help kids get scholarships to any type of university, but why an HBCU for those people that don't?
Well, we have to recognize and respect why HBCUs were founded. HBCUs were founded in direct response to legalized segregation. Black students were prohibited by law from matriculating into higher education institutions, so we had to create our own, whether in church basements, in backyards. We had to find a safe space for us to achieve higher education. And today, these institutions are graduating some of the best and the brightest. And we need a safe space for our students to be able to connect with their culture, to learn more about themselves, to really dig deep into the Black experience, to have an atmosphere where you can look to your left and your right and you're not the minority. We have our whole lives to be the minority, particularly you and I. We're Black women, double minorities. So if at any time we could spend 4 years in an atmosphere where we're uplifting each other, we look alike, we have the same goals and aspirations. If we can do that for a 4 year period, you can't get that anywhere else. So I encourage any Black or Brown student that is looking to receive higher education to explore HBCUs as an option.
It was a pretty big deal in 2018 when Mayor Mike Krzyzewski decided that September was going to be marked as historically Black colleges and universities month. What did that mean to you? Again, being someone that graduated from an HBCU and having that historic moment happen, what did that mean to you, Ashley?
It meant a lot. One, because, Mayor Mike has been very sensitive about the fact that he is the mayor of a majority Black city. And he made a concerted effort to make sure that people in high decision-making places and the people that he employed on his administration looked like the constituent base in which it served. He didn't want to come into that office and surround himself with people that couldn't relate to the city of Wilmington population. So the first thing he did was go into the Black community and hire people that looked like the Wilmington community. So when he decided to make Wilmington the month of September, HBCU month, it really, really touched me in a way to let me know once again that he was leaning in to understand the importance of Black excellence, of Black unity, and to real wrap our arms around people in our community to let them know that they matter, that we're coordinating programmatic efforts for us to rise together, and that it was important. It was important for him to see, kids in the city of Wilmington get these opportunities. So it was very special for me when he decided that he was going to, proclaim that September was HBCU month in the city of Wilmington.
What do you say to people that feel like the work that HBCU Week has committed to is just not enough for the students in the city of Wilmington? What do you say to that, Ashley?
Well, it's just simply not true. HBCU Week has brought a program to the city, an impact level that we've never seen before. In 2017, as I said, 700 kids attended. In 2018, we had 1,600. In 2019, we have 3,500. And today, we have more than 3,500 already signed up. And you can sign up until September the 26th. And these opportunities that we're offering is just not the opportunity to engage and learn about HBCUs, but we're also offering scholarship opportunities. We have scholarships being offered from the Comores Company, from the NFL, from Capital One, from DuPont. And these aren't small scholarships. At a minimum, they're $10,000. So it gives these kids the opportunity to put a significant dent in their college debt and to receive an education in a place where they're comfortable and they're surrounded by people that look and act and have the same goals as them. So to say it's not enough, it's just simply not true.
Hmm. Do you think that this helps with putting a dent in the school to prison pipeline? Do you think something like this would stop students from living a life of crime, from thinking that that is all that is for them, that college is a real, actual possibility? Do you think that this helps with something like that?
I do, because I think that there are a lot of kids that don't even consider college as an option. And what my mission and my goal is to bring it to their doorstep, right to their community, to show them you can do this too. I was not a stellar student when I was in high school. I did not have the best SAT scores. When I applied to Howard, I didn't get in. I got a rejection letter when I applied. And what I had to do was circle back up with the institution and ask them what I could do, if anything, to reverse that decision. And the thing that was communicated was, well, your last ditch effort, you can send us a letter to try to advocate for yourself. But, the requirements to get into Howard were pretty high and their enrollment was practically closed. But I took the opportunity, I'm sorry, and wrote that letter and sent it off. And within a week's time, I found an acceptance letter on my doorstep. So if you advocate for yourself with these opportunities, then you too can do this same thing. You don't have to have a 4.0. You don't have to have a 3.0. You don't have to have the best SAT scores. You just have to want it.
Mm.
And what I'm doing is bringing it to the community for kids to have access to it and to discover that they too can make this happen for themselves.
How can students go about applying for this scholarship that the HBCU Week event provides?
So you can check out our website. It's hbcuweek.org. You can register for the college fair. The scholarship opportunities are up. Again, these are not small scholarships. The DuPont scholarship is 60,000. The Comores scholarship is 40, and the NFL and the Capital One scholarships are 10. Also, the participating HBCUs are offering scholarships to those that they engage with as well. So the opportunities are laid out for you. All you have to do is go to the website and register.
How many HBCUs are involved this year?
So this year we have 37 HBCUs and we have 16 corporate partners.
Is that more
So
than last year or?
yes, so last year we had 26 HBCUs and this year we have 37. The corporate partners, we have about 16. And our core mission is to encourage enrollment in HBCUs, provide scholarship dollars for matriculation, and sustain a pipeline of employment from undergraduate school to corporate America. So what we're doing here is giving kids access to the recruiters to get into the school and also to the corporate partners for scholarship opportunities and internship opportunities. So it's a one-stop shop to really get your collegiate career started in the right direction.
Now, I know this year the event will be virtual, but for those that were not able to be a part of the previous years, talk to me about what that experience was like pre-COVID-19.
Oh my gosh, the energy was so high. I mean, our events were really cool. We really mirror it after an authentic HBCU homecoming experience. So we have panel discussions, we do a church service, we did an R&B concert, obviously the college fair. Stephen A. Smith came in town with Magic Johnson to do a live broadcast of First Take here at the 76ers Field House. And we also had our Battle of the Bands, 7,000 people packed into Frawley Stadium. So we really, really do our best to hone in on that authentic HBCU homecoming experience to get kids excited. Because once you're there and you feel that energy, there's no other option that's going to be for you.
How were you guys able to lock in Stephen A. Smith and ESPN to come to Wilmington, Delaware? How did that even come together?
So Stephen A. Smith's roommate in high school, I'm sorry, in college, Monte Ross. So Stephen A. Smith went to Winston-Salem State University. And one of the team members on HBCU Week had a relationship with Monte Ross, reached out to him about that, and the relationship was forged ever since then. Once we were able to get in front of him what the mission of HBCU Week was, he fell in love with it. He came down for our gala, and when he experienced it in person, the rest was history. He saw the commitment we had to the kids here as an HBCU alum, and he wanted to get more involved. So after attending the gala was when he decided, hey, I want to do more. And when he decided he was going to do more, we aligned the opportunity for him to become our official ambassador. And through that opportunity, First Take came on board to do the live broadcast. So that really gave us the national recognition that we needed to show the world what we were doing.
Yes, definitely. I know that the gala usually is where you are fundraising for the HBCU Week event, correct? So, how were you guys able to fundraise this year considering the restrictions that COVID-19 brought you?
So honestly, we're just reaching out to our corporate partners, and it's been such a blessing this year. A lot of different companies have been really, really contributing significantly on a financial basis to HBCU Week. And I can't say whether or not that's in response to the climate today. Some may say it's a good time to be Black and in business because these are the times where everybody is scrambling to throw things at you. But I will say that does not apply to our friends over at the Comores Company
I wanted to
because
ask that. Do you think that the support that you're receiving is authentic and it's genuine and it's real, or are people just doing this for political statement?
so for us specifically, I will say that our partners are authentically committed to HBCU Week because we vet that. We don't want any transactional relationships. We want to make sure that whoever jumps on to be a partner with HBCU Week, that it's ongoing, that there's a return on investment on both sides, and that there's a commitment to the initiative and the students. So I do see, from the outside looking in to other organizations that you can make that assumption. But I know for us, that doesn't apply, not with our partners.
In your promotional video, I saw you note some historic, some important people that have added to history that have went to HBCUs. You talk about Oprah Winfrey, you talk about Tyler Perry, you talk about a couple different individuals. And when I watch that, I feel a sense of pride. But when I talk to some HBCU students that have graduated from HBCUs, they feel like when they are in a room with a student that has went to a university that is not historically black, that they just don't compete, that they are not able to get the same access to opportunities and jobs. How can HBCU Week create more pride in students to know that this is a good thing to come from an HBCU, and you don't have to feel inferior or less than if you didn't go to, a more prestigious university or something like that. How can you instill more pride in students that go and graduate?
Well, from my perspective, honestly, I think the experience in and of itself will make you prideful. To see all the kids assembled, cheering about the acceptances on the spot and the scholarships, to see the bands, assemble and perform in front of a crowd of 7,000 people down at Frawley Stadium, to see people excited to get into the R&B concerts and the panel discussions. The sense of pride is organic when you come to HBCU Week because we create an environment to show you why you should be proud of these institutions. And I have to say, personally, from my experience in going to an HBCU, it instilled a sense of confidence and pride in me that I don't think I would have been able to get at a PWI. There's not a recognizable insecurity that you would see in me if I walk into a room and I'm the only one. Now, I'm not saying that I don't have to go to the bathroom sometimes and talk myself into things because, you do have your moments, but I don't show it. And I think that's one of the things that I took from going to an HBCU.
You touched on it just a little bit. I heard some of the events and things that'll be happening, but elaborate just a little bit more for me, actually. What can people actually expect during this HBCU week virtual experience this year? What are some of the events that are happening?
So HBC Week, as you said, is going to be 100% virtual this year, and we're so excited about it. This means that we have access to kids all over the country. If you had issues with travel because it was in Wilmington, Delaware last year, that problem is no longer of your concern. Right now, we have at least 15 states represented of students that have signed up to participate. And we kick off this coming Tuesday with an HBCU feud that's mirrored after Family Feud, centered on the Black experience at HBCUs. That's going to be hosted on IG Live by Blake the Brain on Tuesday. That's going to be very cool. On Wednesday, the city of Wilmington is sponsoring a lunch and learn series where we have a number of corporations that will have an audience of 1,000 kids to discuss different subject matter. We have Deloitte, Capital One, Barclays, JetBlue Foundation, and DuPont. So they'll be discussing different things with our kids. And you also get a DoorDash gift card. I'm sorry. So the first 500 kids that sign up for each lunch and learn will get a DoorDash gift card electronically. We also have some really cool panel discussions, an athletic and academics panel discussion by the NFL. We have a Gucci Changemakers panel discussion. And we also have a very cool event that I'm most excited about by Fem It Forward. The president and CEO, Heather Lowry, who is from Delaware and a Spelman alum, will be interviewing Erica Badu. So you can tune into that as well. Erica went to, yeah, so excited for that. So make
Very.
sure you register. Yeah. And then we have our college fair. And our college fair is going to be 2 days from 10 to 5. So you can peek into the virtual platform and engage. We have a virtual booth set up for each college and each corporation. You simply just click on it. You engage one-on-one with the college recruiter, and on-the-spot acceptance is still available. You can upload your transcript, and they can view your transcript on the spot and let you know what you qualify for. So we're not taking anything away from you during the virtual experience. So even though you're not live in person, the opportunities are still there. Actually, we have more. So more HBCUs, more students attending, more events. So we're really excited about rolling this out.
So do you think COVID-19 in a sense was kind of a good thing for HBCU week, to be able to expand?
Yeah, we expanded quickly. I mean, because the goal or the mission wasn't to, expand until next year.
Mhm.
But the pandemic kind of put a rush order on that. And I think it's a good thing. And it showed us that we could still plan it, we could still move forward with it in spite of the pandemic. We could still give kids this opportunity in spite of. So it's exciting to see it all planned out. And I really hope you guys enjoy that. Next week, we work really hard on it. And again, hbcuweek.org, you can sign up to register for any of the events I just listed. You can peek around the website for more information on each event. But yeah, it's all there. It's all laid out, very user friendly, and I'm excited for everyone to experience it.
For our students in Wilmington, Delaware that just left off and went to college, what's some advice that you would give a first year student?
Be gentle with yourself. This is a time for you to discover who you are, to make new friends that live outside of your community, right? When I was at Howard, I had friends from Africa, from California, from Trinidad, from everywhere. It's really a time for you to lean in and really connect with your culture around a group of people that look like you. That's not an opportunity that you can get in an academic setting anywhere else. So I would say, please take advantage of that, extracurricular activities, make some lifelong friends, and enjoy yourself while you're there.
And one last time, Ashley, just let everyone know exactly where they can sign up to be a part of the virtual HBCU experience.
Sure, just go to hbcuweek.org and all the information is there. As soon as you go to the website, you'll see a tab that says register now. Click on that tab and you are welcome to attend any of the events that are listed. Beyond the college fair, again, we have a lunch and learn series, a game show, and several panel discussions. So just peek around, see what you're interested in, and I look forward to hearing the feedback of how you guys enjoyed it.
I am too. Thank you so much, Ashley, for joining me on this episode. I really appreciate you taking the time for this.
Oh, thanks for thinking of me. I really appreciate the platform, India. I really do.
Well, that wraps us Thank you so much for watching Up with India. I'll be back tomorrow with more interviews, updates, and information. Make sure that you follow us on social media at WITN22Wilm. That's at WITN22Wilm. See you guys tomorrow.